L'imperativo. In this lesson, you will learn to use the command form in Italian, l'imperativo. Remember that commands are good for more than just ordering people around, which you may not feel comfortable doing in Italian yet. The command form is also used for giving warnings, giving advice, or for making invitations. Let's look at some examples. Stai attento, è pericoloso. Non ti avvicinare troppo alla scogliera. Be careful, it's dangerous. Don't get too close to the cliff. Vieni a cena a casa nostra. Come over for dinner. Non ascoltare quelle malelingue. Don't listen to those gossips. All of these are examples of how the command form is used in a way other than just ordering someone about. All of the examples I show here are in the to form, but commands can also be given in the formal lei form, or when addressing several people in the plural informal voi, or the plural formal loro. There's also a noi form, which we will discuss later in this presentation. Finally, notice that in the examples given here, the negative form uses the infinitive verb, non ti avvicinare, non ascoltare. The endings for regular verbs in the command form are as follows. For are verbs, a, I, iamo, ate, ino. For ere verbs, I, a, iamo, ete, ano. For ire verbs, I, a, iamo, ite, ano. Notice that the ere and ire verb endings are identical except in the voi form, where you see ete for ere verbs and ite for ire verbs. Also notice that all three verb types take the same noi ending, iamo. The loro endings, for addressing a group of people formally, are in parentheses as they are not commonly used. In modern Italian, the plural voi form is used both formally and informally, replacing the loro in most cases. Let's practice adding these endings to a few regular verbs. Mangiare, to eat. Mettere, to put, and dormire, to sleep. First, mangiare. This is one you have probably all heard. Mangia, mangia. This common example is in the to form, but we could use this verb in the other forms as well. Mangia, mangi, mangiamo, mangiate, mangino. Notice that the verb is slightly irregular in that it would have a double I in the lei and loro forms if we were to follow the regular pattern. If you go to Italy or spend any time with Italians, you will definitely hear mangia, mangiate, and mangiamo frequently. Next we have mettere. Metti, metta, mettiamo, mettete, mettano. I use this with my daughter often. Metti la giacca, metti le scarpe, non mettere I piedi sul tavolo. Finally, we have an example with the ire verb dormire. Dormi, dorma, dormiamo, dormite, dormano. This is another one I use every day with my 3-year-old. Dormi, dormiamo. In this slide, we will look at a special group of verbs in the command form. Verbs with the irregular ISC conjugations, like finire, finisco, capire, capisco, capiscono, preferire, preferisco, preferiscono, pulire, pulisco, suggerire, suggerisco. Listed here are the endings used for these verbs. Notice that the noi and voi forms are regular. Tu, isci, finisci, capisci, pulisci. Lei, the formal, isca, finisca, capisca, pulisca. And I have the loro form at the bottom even though they're infrequently used. Finally, let's take a closer look at how the command form is used in the negative and how it is used in the noi form. Negative commands are formed in the same way as positive commands in all forms except the to form. Let's have a look. Non ascoltare quelle malelingue. This was an example from the first slide we saw. Here you see that in the to form, the verb is not conjugated. The verb ascoltare remains in its unconjugated form. But if we were to look at it in the lei form, you see that it is conjugated. Non ascolti quelle malelingue. For dire, non mi dire quello, don't tell me that. In this case, in the to form, dire is in the infinitive, but in the lei form, the same sentence, don't tell me that, would use the conjugated lei form. Non mi dica quello. And then we have the to form of the verb andare. Non andare, don't go. Unconjugated, andare, but conjugated for the lei form. Non vada. So to repeat, for negative commands, they're conjugated exactly the same as positive commands, except in the to form, which uses the infinitive verb. Commands in the noi form are similar to the English expressions let's do something, like let's eat or let's go. But in Italian, these are expressed with the noi command form. Mangiamo, let's eat. Andiamo, let's go. Ci prepariamo, let's get ready. This presentation has introduced the imperative mood or command form in Italian, l'imperativo. We have focused on regular verbs only. To see the conjugation of verbs that are irregular in the command form, see your book or useful internet sites like wordreference.com. Here are some of the more common verbs that are irregular in the command form. Andare, dare, fare, stare, dire, avere, essere, and venire. Ciao!